and welcome to the Wealthy Lala Show with myself, Laurie Laursen. Today is episode 197. Oh, hope you guys are doing okay today. You know, today's a day that's a little off for me. I actually already asked a friend for a contribution to an attitude adjustment. And all joking aside, I do wonder within myself still how much judgment I have of myself for having a bit of an off day. Like that there's a rightness that we should always be finished, or that we should always be happy. There's a rightness that we should always be uplifted, that there's a rightness that we should, always be nice, kind, blah, blah, blah. Well, what if actually kindness is letting yourself have a meltdown? Now, I mean, you got to be aware of where you choose it, right? You're not going to, you want to choose kindness with the people around you, kindness for yourself, because having to clean up aftermath when you have a meltdown may not be kind to you. But allowing yourself to just be with what is. Now, one of the things that I've learned over the last, handful of years is that we're really, really, really super aware. We're aware of other people. We're aware of the earth. We're aware of things. We're actually even aware of energies that aren't even in live bodies. And I mean, I know that for myself because, just recently I had an uncle pass away, actually a month ago today. And, he came to me in one of my meditations. And so we're even aware of other people with and without bodies. And just roll with me with it. And so sometimes, this is where question comes in. Question is just, oh my God, if there's one thing that can create an expansive life is to live in question and be willing to question what's going on and take the time. And I love when Dr. Joe Dispenza says, love yourself enough to do this. And so whatever this is for you, could be meditation, could be asking questions. But really for me, loving yourself enough to do this is loving yourself enough to love yourself. And loving yourself could be asking a question, having a nap, having a coffee, going out for with a friend, going to a movie, one of many, many, many things. And it's going to look different for each of us in each day at each time. And one of the things that, I wonder if we could just have an off day and let it be okay. I was just recently, actually this morning, listening to an Abraham video, and Abraham was actually teasing a woman who must have said something about, staying in bed all day. And Abraham says, as the universe source, whatever you want to call it, they're not up there, because we usually call heaven up there, right? They're not there, wherever they are, around us, judging us over, oh, look at her. She's not living up to her potential. She's still laying on the couch. She should be blah, blah, blah. But how much do we actually do that? I was really noticing from a few conversations that I've had over the last few days that if we took judgment of ourselves out, which actually really is so often comparison of ourselves to other people, and to projections and expectations of what we think or other people think, or we bought that we think, or we bought that other people think, or, other people thought it and then we bought it, about ourselves. Like if we didn't have those projections and expectations, and we didn't have the judgment, and we didn't have the comparison, imagine the purity that we would live with. I go back to my grandson who's 2 years and 9 months old kind of thing. And I don't see him walking around judging himself, whether he's happy, sad, serious, whatever. He just totally bees with himself. And actually, the coolest thing about that is that it is like, if you don't know what it is, that's actually the attraction that we have to kids. And even like I notice for myself, like adults, even if of adults, they like to drop F-bombs, and they they've got really strong opinions about certain things, or kind of you think of those old people, like elderly people that have lived a while. And sorry, I just had to put down, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not, I had to put my blinds down. um but there's something so refreshing about a person when they're just being themselves. And so for one person, dropping F-bombs could be the funniest thing and it suits them. And for another person, it just doesn't suit them. And if we actually throw judgment in there that one person shouldn't and one person should, or however we look at that, that's where really the problem comes in. Like if we say, well, nobody should ever drop an F-bomb, but yet you hear someone say a joke, or they're just doing something funny or something, and they say the F word, and you just like, oh my God, you're like rip roaring, bending over at the gut laughing, right? So, yeah, I'm really grateful for this show today. Because I was really finding myself, like I woke up this morning and I had the awareness. I knew that my body wanted me, my being, whatever, wanted me to get up and go downstairs and meditate. And I didn't actually choose it right away. I didn't, because my hubby was still home and getting ready to go to work. And so I made sure he had his lunch. And then I started to think, well, if I get this ready, because I might go to the city today. And if I get this ready, I might go to this, then I'll have it done before the city. And then we're still trying to catch up on combining from last fall. So I wanted to have food ready for the guys. And so all of a sudden I got in my head and I started doing all this stuff. And next thing you know, I go into my fridge and I move something to try and make more room. And those coffee creamers in a bottle, I dropped one. So not only did I drop it, but the lid popped while it was dropping. So I had coffee creamer freaking everywhere. I had it on my pants, I had it on my feet, on the floor, on the garbage can. I cleared probably 8 feet or more, maybe 10, on the kitchen floor. It went up underneath the shelves in my fridge. It went into drawers. I was not really much into cleaning my fridge today, but apparently I was. Oh man. So I stopped and I went, okay, I created this by not actually honoring what I knew that I really needed to do for myself. How often do we do that? I know I need to, exercise or go for a walk or eat differently or, take time for myself or go for a nap, or I just got to chill and watch a movie. And then we talk ourselves out of it. We let ourselves get distracted. And then we make things worse. Oh yeah, that's what I chose. And I knew right away. So I was like, thank you. Okay, I get it. I got to stop. So one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to get this show up, because I usually like to post them at around 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And I like to have them posted or published for that time. So usually I have them done ahead of the game. But yesterday I was out all day because I was loving up my new grandbaby. Oh, what a little sweetheart, that little Madeline. So, so grateful. Perceiving the wealth in my life, allowing myself to receive the wealth in my life. And Madeline sure upped the wealthy level there in our lives. Oh gosh, it was she's just so awesome. And I'm so pleased, like I'm so happy for my daughter that she's doing so well, that my daughter's doing so well, that Madeline is doing so well, that they're doing so well together. And I got to see the Papa too take yesterday, and he's just got that big, proud Papa grin. So adorable. Don't tell him I said he was adorable. Tell him his grin was adorable. Oh, but going back, actually, this has been very healing for me to even just take this time to talk about how I was noticing myself, judging myself for having an off day. And, I just want to sort of address the question thing too, that, we can be so incredibly aware of other people. And with being aware of other people, one of the tools I was taught in a modality that I did before was that, 99% of everything isn't ours. And what I found too is just having that awareness wasn't enough for me. I may be aware of someone else's universe, and is there anything that I require to contribute? Is this actually relevant to me? Is this something I'm just aware of? And with my awareness with this, could I have ease with it? And is there anything in it for me? Like, is there, if I'm feeling really discouraged and I ask a question and I'm like, that's actually not mine. I'm aware of someone else's discouragement. Well, is there still a part of me that's still, reacting to discouragement? Is there a place where I wish they weren't in discouragement so that they could be better so that I would then feel better? And then, of course, that makes me really conditional on their happiness. Asking a question, if this is mine, if I am aware of it, what would I like to do, be, choose? What could I do, be, choose to have ease and have it create something different? This is what I actually really noticed is I actually got the awareness that coming and recording this show, talking about it, and in real live time, that my days aren't all exactly whatever a person would call perfect, and that it's actually totally, wonderfully, beautifully okay. And that actually in the acknowledging of it, the talking about it, I'm feeling so much better because my body's like, oh yeah, that's what was true. That's what was true for me, true for you, Yeah. Gosh, there was something else that had popped into my mind and then it zipped right out again. Yeah. So if you're feeling off today and not feeling quite right, what kindness can you gift to yourself? And, even if it is going off somewhere and having a temper tantrum, going into your car and having a yelling session, really just letting yourself acknowledge what's actually true for you. When I look around at the world and, notice people's comments about Facebook, like social media and stuff like that, I'm not quite as into it as I used to be. And that's sort of different than what I'm talking about here. That was just a side comment. But with regards to like social media and so many people voicing their opinions on, voicing their judgment of, whatever they think about other people and their rightness or wrongness of it. I really wonder if all of us, especially those of us that feel really freaking judgmental sometimes, really sat down and saw what was really truly going on in our world and what kind of self-care that may look like. Self-care is beautiful when we do things like massages or Reiki or, touch for health or acupuncture, different things like that, physical with our body. But, self-care is really taking the time to either whatever meditation is like for you, whether it's journaling, meditating, sitting quietly with a guided meditation, could be whatever. or is it using some amazing tools that you have? Like I found some lately, Havening and EMDR and stuff, where it actually changes the energy, the charge of what's going on in my world. And then it creates a different possibility. That's an incredible self-care too. So if you're having an off day today, gosh, what can you do to just love yourself through it? And think about it. When I look at my new granddaughter and I look at all three grandkids, I love to actually reference them, when I start to have expectations over something. Is like, is this how I would treat them? What if I treated me like I would treat them? And bring in that beautiful, energy of sweetness and kindness. Hmm. So anyways, on that note, guys, I'm feeling a lot better. I hope you guys are too. I hope you have a lovely day. And if you're not feeling better, big hugs to you anyways. And I adore you. And I hope this podcast contributed to you. So big hugs. Have an amazing rest of your day. And if you want to reach out, thewealthylala@gmail.com.